Jai Shriman Narayan. I want to pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I want to pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I want to pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I want to pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I want to welcome Lord Sriman Narayan in his form as Lord Raam on his birthday today at the Sri Narayan Dham. I want to welcome Mother Sita, Wood Lord Raam, and all the Devis and Devtas that took part in this Leela in Treta Yuga 2 million years ago, wherein the Ramayana was formulated and written by Valmiki. Welcome those attending the satsang with our premier candidate for the Congress of the People, Jessica Pandey, and the relatives and friends, I think, to welcome all of you to the satsang. I want to welcome those that are watching this discourse on live feed, locally, nationally, and internationally. Today is the most auspicious day in the Sri Sampradaya. Sampradaya means, in our sense, an institution. There are 4 institutions that are recognized as spiritual institutions in the Padma Puran. The Sri Sampradaya, which is the principal Sampradaya or the principal institution for disseminating spirituality in all of the material universes or multiverses. Then there is the Brahma Sampradaya, the Kumara Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. All of these Sampradayas are Vaishnava Sampradayas, which mean that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Sriman Narayan. If you look at this poster of Congress of the People, then you'll see that there is an emblem. And if you look at the other political parties locally, nationally, internationally, even in India, you'll see that every political party as an institution has an identifying emblem. This emblem identifies your political status. Similarly, all the Sampradayas have an emblem which is a tilak, which is represented on the forehead and bodies of those that have taken initiation. And if you can take your camera to Lord Sri Ram, Hanuman Baba, then you'll see the tilak that is depicted on my forehead, on the forehead of my Guru, on the forehead of Lord Sri Ramanuj, is all identical. And this identifies that myself, my Guru, Lord Sri Ramanuj, Lord Ram, we all come from the same institution. We all belong to the same institution, and this institution is called the Sri Sampradaya, the highest spiritual platform in all of the multi-universes. Everything else is subordinate to this Sampradaya or institution. So Lord Sri Ram, his last appearance was 2 million years ago on this earth. And as I've discussed during the week, his birth was the first full human manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came in as Matsya, incarnation as the fish, then he came in as the tortoise, he came in as the boar, he came in as half lion, half man, and when he came in as Lord Ram, this was his first full human manifestation in the material universe. And it therefore imperative that in the human or full human incarnation, he sets out principles for humanity. However, Lord Ram did not set regulative principles for human society in writing. He lived the perfect human being. He lived the perfect human being. Lord Ram lived the ideal husband and the ideal brother, the ideal son, the ideal king, the ideal leader of society, both locally and internationally, and pertaining to humankind throughout the multiverses. And on a great day like this, we all should take a bit of this huge sacrifice that Lord Sri Ram made when he came to this earth 2 million years ago. Take one part of his teaching. It is human that when we take vows, we want to accomplish everything. We want to do everything in one sitting. It is impossible. So I'm teaching you, take one part of Lord Ram's teaching for this year and practice it fully, 100%. Then taking 100 parts of his teaching and practicing it 0% after 2 weeks. From next week, Lord Ram will be forgotten, Jessica. Yeah, from next week, Lord Ram will be forgotten. Then we'll celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. Then everyone will lose their loyalty, and now they'll say, I believe in Lord Sri Krishna. Until Mahashivratri. Then they'll forget both Lord Ram and Lord Sri Krishna, and in Mahashivratri they will believe in Lord Shiva. And after that will come Navratri, and they'll forget everyone else, and they'll take brand new vows in Navratri. And the cycle continues and continues and continues, because everyone is learning the story. No one wants to follow the philosophy. Alright? So you can look at the Ramayana as a soapy, or you can imbibe the philosophy behind the soapy. And as I've stated, God gives everyone who are vibrating in all three gunas an opportunity to reclaim Him. Those that are in Tamogun will love the sopis. Mode of ignorance will love the sopis. Generally around the world, who love sopis? Sopi lovers are not talking. Right? And who love debates? Who love to put the religious channel on every morning? Very few. How many love debates and scientific programs, historical and geographical programs? Very few. How many love sopis? Everyone. For sopis you can sacrifice your husband, your wife, your mother, your sister, your brother, your food to watch a half an hour soapy. Nobody must come in your way. It is soapy time. And the content of soapy is not even worth putting into the dustbin. Alright? So gurus are here to smack some sense into you and tell you the truth, which you know, Jessica, you know deep inside the Guru is telling you the absolute truth. But the power of the Sopi is more impelling. Out of sight, out of mind. As soon as you go home, Sopi is on. Guru cannot see. They don't understand that the Guru exists in the spiritual dimension, and every breath you take resonates with the Guru wherever you are in any part of the universe. Yeah? So coming back, the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not matter whether you love Him through the Sopi form, whether through the drama form, whether through the debate form, or whether through philosophy and spiritual science. He does not matter which way you reach Him. You can start the Sopi form in this lifetime, next lifetime, drama and debates, following lifetime, pure spiritual science. There's enough time. There's 427,000 years left in this Kali Yuga. How many lifetimes you have? Many. God does not matter, only it matters to you. Alright? One round of creation relative to Vaikunth, where Lord Sriman Narayan lives, is merely 1 second. Merely 1 second in Vaikunth, calculated on planet Earth, 311 trillion 40 billion years, of which 155 trillion years have already passed. So total creation you still have, Jessica, 155 trillion years more to watch your Sopis. You have a long time. Okay? So I think the greatest gift that Lord Sri Ram gave is permission for his younger brother to take birth on this earth. Because Lord Sri Ram, he lived the religious principles. He did not prescribe it in writing. So he sent his younger brother. Who was your Lord Ram's younger brother? Lakshmi. 1,000 years ago, Lord Sri Ram sent his younger brother Lakshmi to collect all Vedic knowledge and structure it in such a way that those born in Kali Yuga can find a systematic way of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Lord Sri Ram's younger brother Lakshman is none other than Lord Sri Ramanuj. And Lord Sri Ramanuj is the Adi Guru of the Sri Sampradaya. He was so great that his name is included in the Sri Sampradaya. And for those of you that are listening to this discourse the first time, both through social media and those of you that are present here today, Lord Sri Ramanuj's body, material body, is now 880 years old. And it still exists in the sitting posture. If you look there, you can see Lord Sri Ramanuj. It's a murti of Lord Sri Ramanuj. That is the position of his body in Sri Rangam temple in South India at present currently. He is not mummified, no chemicals in his body. He is still in sitting position. His nails continues to grow. They do Abhishekam every 6 months. Abhishekam every 6 months. He is like this, in this position, and I had the opportunity to live in the proximity of the Sri Lankan temple in September last year for 6 days. So we can scientifically show you that our spiritual knowledge is absolute. By the retention of Lord Sri Ram's younger brother Lakshman's body, which is over 880 years old currently. So Lord Sri Ramanuj, when I'm saying he's the greatest gift that we could get, because he synthesized all of Vedic knowledge, so I can sit on this platform today and explain the Vedas to you in such a manner that you can take it home. It is palatable, you can digest it without any confusion whatsoever. Okay? But in order to know that knowledge, Jessica, you have to become a very regular devotee of the institution. Alright? And the last time you was here, I told you I don't want to see you as a magician. Because I said politicians are like magicians. They magically appear election time. And after that, we don't see them again for the next 5 years. Alright? So we're training Jessica not to be a magician politician. Okay? And for those of you that do not know, I have mandate to talk to Jessica in this manner because I was a senior politician, and when I was in the same institution called, she was the regional secretary and I was the head of organizing structure in province. I want to make mention, Jessica, because we have a lot of Ravnas in our satsang. More Ravnas attend than Lord Ram devotees. Right? So Ravnas, when they leave satsang, they make a lot of allegations. So I think when we were together, there was no inclination that I would become a guru. Alright? So I would have not performed certain deeds knowing that one day you're going to sit and verify for me. When we were together, I myself, the last thing I would cross my mind was to become a guru. Right? In my position as the coordinator, you would remember I brought in 37 candidates for Itequini region. And from those candidates, we got a PR seat in Itequini. Sorry? 87 candidates, yes. And I was the number one to take that councillor's position or that seat. Not because I was popular, but because I worked for it. I brought in the candidates to make the seat. However, you remember I declined and I gave it to somebody else, and this has never happened in political history anywhere in the world since Kali Yuga, where a politician makes a seat and gives it to someone else. Sudarshan. So these are guru qualities. Because in politics, the seat is the most important thing. You can kill your mother, you can kill your father, you can kill your children, Colonel, for this seat in politics. You can have the best meal on a round table, swearing your allegiance to the current person that's sitting on the seat, and as soon as he goes for a smoke break, 9 of you plotting this. Jessica? Yes. Yes. And it is relevant that we discuss these things because Lord Ram himself was a political leader. He was a king. It's politics. In a monarchy, and today we are in a democracy. Alright? And it is politics. Wherever there is a leader leading a country and councillors, today we call them presidents, those days kings used to rule. Okay? So it is politics and it is relevant. The Vedas, politics is entrenched in the Vedas. And it is relevant to discuss this type of events. And this is why I invited Jessica Pandey, and I want her to represent the Hindu woman. In fact, not Hindu, but Sanatan Dharma, dharmic woman in politics. And this is why I'm giving her all my backing, because the ideal woman is represented in Sanatan Dharma. And she needs to take this idealism and entrench it wherever she goes during her stay in politics. We need political representatives to disseminate these spiritual injunctions on the political platform. Don't we? You question? Yes, we do. And she is the most trusted candidate in lieu of my previous relationship with her that I can. It does not matter which political party. I'm talking about Jessica Pandey, President. Alright? So she comes first, and then we're talking about COPE, and COPE's president, who is also an ideal community leader. And we have a mandate to discuss all of these things on Lord Sri Ram's birthday. Because what do you think Lord Sri Ram would want for South Africans on his birthday? A peaceful South Africa. Wouldn't he? Yes. So going back and coming back to Lord Sri Ram's birthday, his birthday is celebrated around the world. And Ram means the source of all pleasure. Ram, from Sanskrit to English, means the source of all pleasure. And when you look at his photograph, or you sing the mantra, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ramu, you'll feel pleasure within yourself, because he is the source of all pleasure. And Lord Narayan means the source and goal of all living entities. Narayan means the source and goal of all living entities, translated from Sanskrit to English. And Krishna means all attractive. Krishna, translated from Sanskrit to English, means all attractive. These are the various names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his various incarnations. These are not some Charo's name. These names have a meaning. Sanskrit translated to English, they have a meaning. They also prove Ram, not Charo's name. It's a Sanskrit name with an English meaning. Alright? Are there any questions, Jessica? You want to say a few words?
You asked me to prepare a speech on Ram, which you've already delivered.
No, you can say your part. You don't want to say anything? Come and say thank you.
Shyam and Narayan, to all the devotees. I thank you all for having me yet again. You'll wonder why I chose to sit today. Guru, when I left here on the last occasion, I had a very special dream. And my granny said that I was rude to you. And in my dream, she said, why are you standing in front of the door? So I chose that from now onwards, when I address you, that I will be on my knees. And I thank you for that. Guru asked me to come today prepared to speak on Lord Ram. Those three young ladies there, my three lovely nieces, I had them researching this whole day on it, and Guru's taken every single word out of it. But Guru, I think the plot behind it was so I could educate my three young girls there on who Sri Ram is, and who our Sri Narayan is, and how he fitted into that picture. So you have done a great deed for me as a person today, in my family, so that my three young girls have learned that today. Guru, since my nomination, I want to thank you for all the spiritual trust that you've given, or you've imparted on me, and I've taken that. And today, on the special occasion of Sri Ram's birthday, I want to pledge to you, to Sri Ram and Sri Narayan, that I will continue to carry out the respected beliefs that you've imparted on me, not only from the time we've come to know each other, but from the spirituality that you've imparted on me recently. Just one small mention I want to bring to your attention. If you look at your tilak, if you look at Sri Ram's tilak and Hanumanji's tilak, I just want to turn something and show it to you as well. Guru, this is the tilak of hope. And to all of you that don't know, Guruji was one of the very few people, even when he had no inclination that he was going to be a guru, that corrected every single person in the Congress of the People to say, the rate must go up. Today, as I sat there and you spoke of the tilak, I looked at it, and I think you had an inclination at that time as to why the red had to be on the top of the logo, in between the two white lines. It's something, the president holds very dear, and you know how he scolds us about this and says, that logo is wrong, don't put it up. And I think some part of you is actually with president as well, every single time that he says, why is that logo wrong? But for me, today is a revelation to say, Guruji, I understand why the red is on top. And I take that back with me at the Congress of People. I continue to ask for your blessings. I thank you and Mataji for all of your guidance and your love, and the rest of the devotees for the support you've given me. I feel it every day. Every single morning when I get a message, I remember that you are praying for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica. I hope the South African voters do the bit. All South African voters do their bit. And those of you that are reading the media, watching the news, and on social media, you'll see that COPE, there's a lot of people talking a whole lot of good about COPE. Can you notice? Yes? Because if you start any campaign through a spiritual dimension, then God is behind you. Yesterday, my discourse from the Brahma Sutras, the highest philosophy, God states that if you do good, then He is with you. If you do good, He is with you. If your intention is to do good, He is with you. So if doing good, and we come from the old school of doing good, we were community leaders before becoming political leaders. Community leaders first, because our heart throbbed in sync with the pain of the community. And this is why we took community work. And politics is one of the tools to ensure that the community needs are fulfilled. And this is one of the reasons that I joined political parties, and I'm sure Jessica joined. It is because our hearts throb in sync with the hearts of the community. And when your heart throbs in sync with the community, then Lord Narayan, who is living inside your soul, not outside, inside your soul, also throbs in sync. And when all these are in a straight line, it's called seva. It's called seva. And when you are doing seva, God is always behind you. Are there any questions? Sudarshan? Any questions? Anyone? Any questions? On the media side? So I want to wish Lord Ram, Mother Sita, all the Devis and Devtas that attended this satsang for the past 9 days. I want to thank them for spiritualizing every grain of sand on the Sri Narayan Dham. I want to thank Jessica for making a way out to the satsang with her family and her nieces. And I hope that in this little talk they picked up something. I hope they enjoy the meals that were labeled. People took the time off to prepare meals today. Jessica, stay, enjoy the meal. And as a parting shot, as food is required to nourish your body, transcendental knowledge is required to nourish your soul. Chapter 4, verse 34, Lord Shri Krishna states that transcendental knowledge can only be attained through a bona fide spiritual master. 35, 36, 37 and 38 states that it is transcendental knowledge that has the power to wipe out the maya of karma, the load of karma that has followed you since time immemorial. So going to temples and sacrificing a goat, Jessica, nothing. Black fowl, nothing. Lime and needles, nothing. Monkey balls, nothing. Nothing can take away your karma. Only listening to transcendental knowledge by a bona fide spiritual master can burn away all the karmas that you accumulated, not only in your past life or this life, but in all your lifetimes. And this is a verdict, injunction. It is not stated by the Guru, it is stated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you will see, if you continue to join a self-realized satsang group, then that knowledge feeds your soul. And the feeding of the soul is the brightness of your body. Alright, so your soul needs to be filled with the absolute truth spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like your body needs to be filled with sattvic food. Vegetarian food, girls, I hope you're all vegetarians. Yeah. Vegetarian food. And if you'll have an opportunity to attend our satsangs, we'll explain to you why you must only eat sattvic food. Right? And you will leave meat on your own after a few solid explanations. Or we shall say meat will leave you. Alright, meat will leave you. Okay. Are there any questions, girls? Where are you from? Where you live? How far away from here? Not too far away, alright? Just stone throw. Okay? So I want to wish all of you well. I want to wish my group of dedicated and loyal devotees for taking their time. This premises has no water yet, Jessica. We waiting. The municipality, we've dug the trenches and everything. However, the devotees have done their bit, and God is testing all our resolve to see whether we can exist without water. When we say without water, without taps, there is water. We bring water in vans and vehicles. So for the past 2 weeks, I moved in, I think, a week ago now. 2 weeks. Yeah, I moved in 2 weeks ago. I've been on a non-stop 90-day work, both here and in the business. And I'm taking a small break for a few days. Body cannot make it, you know. I'm not a military man, I'm just a fat old guru, you know. You can see my stomach when I get up. Right? So this body cannot take it anymore, and I'm taking a few days break. But Ram Naumi was officially cancelled, and then who am I to cancel Ram Naumi? So I had to go through that 9 days, and you can see we are not complete, but God comes first. Jai Shri Narayan.
Jai Shri.